The wind cut through the Chicago train station like a knife through paper. Helena Williams sat on a cold metal bench, her back pressed against the wall. Her coat was thin, too thin for November, but it was all she had left. 3 months ago, Helena had everything. A beautiful office with her name on the door. A company she built from nothing. People called her a genius. The best architect in the city. She designed buildings that touched the sky. Now she had nothing. Her stomach growled. She hadn't eaten since yesterday morning. One stale sandwich from a gas station. She pulled her coat tighter and closed her eyes. Maybe if she didn't look at the world wouldn't look at her. "Excuse me, ma'am." Helena opened her eyes. A little girl stood in front of her, maybe 7 or 8 years old. She wore a purple jacket with a cartoon character on it. Her hair was pulled back in 2 ponytails. Her brown eyes were huge and curious. "Yes," Helena said quietly. "Are you okay? You look sad." Helena felt something crack inside her chest. When was the last time someone asked if she was okay? When was the last time anyone saw her at all? "I'm fine, sweetheart. Where's your mother?" The girl's face changed. Her bottom lip started to shake. "I don't have a mother anymore. She's in heaven. That's what my aunt says." Helena sat up straighter. "Oh, honey, I'm so sorry." "It's okay," the girl said, but her voice was tiny. "My aunt takes care of me now. But she's not my mom. She tries, but it's not the same." The girl sat down on the bench next to Helena without asking. She swung her legs back and forth. They didn't reach the ground. "What's your name?" Helena asked. "Olivia." "What's yours?" "Helena." "That's a pretty name." Olivia looked at Helena's worn-out shoes, at her dirty coat, at the small backpack that held everything Helena owned. "Do you live here? At the station?" Helena felt her throat get tight. She could lie. She could tell this child to mind her own business. But something about those honest brown eyes made lying impossible. Sometimes, when it's too cold outside. Olivia nodded slowly. She was quiet for a moment. Then she said something that changed everything. "You have no home and I have no mother." The words hung in the freezing air between them. Helena felt tears push against her eyes. She hadn't cried in weeks. She refused to cry. Crying meant giving up. But this little girl had just spoken the truth that no adult would dare say. "Yes," Helena whispered. "That's exactly right." "My mom used to say that lonely people should help each other," Olivia said. "She said the world is hard, but people don't have to be." Helena looked at this small child, this brave, honest, beautiful child, and something shifted inside her. Something that had been sleeping woke up. For 3 months, Helena had been running, hiding, trying to disappear. The man who destroyed her life was Tiago Santos. He had been her fiancé, her business partner. He had smiled and kissed her and promised forever. Then he stole everything. He took the money from her company bank accounts. He forged her signature on documents. He told lies to her clients. Big, ugly lies. He said Helena was stealing, that she was crazy, that she couldn't be trusted. People believed him. Why wouldn't they? Tiago was charming, handsome. He knew how to talk, how to smile, how to make people trust him. Helena had tried to fight back. She went to the police. She hired a lawyer, but Tiago was smart. He had covered his tracks. He had faked documents that made Helena look guilty. He had friends in important places. One by one, Helena lost everything. Her company, her apartment, her reputation. Her friends stopped calling. Her family didn't understand. They said maybe she should just move on, start over somewhere else. But how could she start over when the world thought she was a criminal? So she stopped fighting. She let herself fall. She ended up here, on this bench, in this station. Invisible. Olivia. A woman's voice called from across the station. A tall woman in a business suit hurried over. "Olivia, I told you to stay with me." "Sorry, Aunt Claire," Olivia said. But she didn't look sorry. She looked at Helena. "This is my new friend Helena." Claire looked at Helena. Her eyes did what everyone's eyes did. They saw the dirty coat, the tired face, the homeless woman. Claire's expression went cold. Olivia, come here. Now. But now, Olivia. Olivia stood up slowly. She looked at Helena one more time. Will you be okay? Helena surprised herself by smiling. A real smile. The first one in months. Yes, sweetheart. I will be okay. Promise? I promise. Olivia reached into her jacket pocket. She pulled out a chocolate bar. The kind kids love. She pressed it into Helena's hand. For you, so you don't get hungry. Then she was gone, pulled away by her nervous aunt. Helena watched them disappear into the crowd. She looked down at the chocolate bar in her hand. It was small, probably cost $1, but it felt like gold. You have no home, and I have no mother. The girl's words echoed in Helena's head. Slowly, Helena stood up. Her legs were stiff from sitting. Her whole body hurt, but her mind was suddenly clear. Sharp, awake. She had been an architect. She knew how to build things. She knew how to plan, how to measure, how to create something from nothing. Tiago Santos had destroyed her with lies, with fake papers, with charm and tricks. Fine, Helena could build too, but she wouldn't build with bricks and steel. She would build a case, a perfect, unbreakable case. She would find every lie, every stolen dollar, every fake signature, and she would make sure the world knew the truth, not for revenge, but for justice. For every person Tiago would hurt next, for every person like her who lost everything to someone else's greed. Helena walked out of the station into the freezing night. The wind still cut like a knife, but she didn't feel cold anymore. She felt awake. The hunt had begun. Helena's first stop was a public library. It opened at 9 in the morning. She was there at 8:45, waiting by the doors with 5 other people. Inside, the library was warm. It smelled like old books and coffee. Helena found a computer in the back corner. She had 2 hours before they kicked people out who looked like her. 2 hours to start building her case. She opened a notebook she found in a trash can. The pages were mostly empty. Perfect. First, she made a list. Helena was an architect. Architects always started with lists. Things I know about Tiago. He used my company accounts. He forged my signature. He has fake business documents working with someone named Marcus Thompson, is still running projects using my stolen ideas. That last one burned. 3 days ago, Helena had walked past a construction site. There was a big sign, Santos Development, luxury apartments coming soon. The design on the sign was hers. She had drawn it 2 years ago. Tiago had simply put his name on it. Helena started searching. She typed, Tiago Santos Chicago, into the computer. Hundreds of results came up. Pictures of Tiago in expensive suits. Articles about his successful company. An interview where he talked about his vision for the city. Helena's hands shook as she read. He was everywhere. Famous, respected, rich, but famous people left trails. Big trails. She clicked on an article from 3 months ago. Tiago had won a contract with Thompson and Associates. A huge company. They were building a shopping center together. Helena wrote down, Marcus Thompson, CEO, partnership with Tiago. Check this. Then she found something interesting. A small article in a business magazine. It mentioned that Tiago's company had recently restructured. That was fancy language. Helena knew what it meant. He'd moved money around. Hidden it. Why would someone hide money unless they stole it? Helena worked for 6 hours straight. The librarian gave her strange looks but didn't kick her out. By closing time, Helena had filled 20 pages with notes, bank account numbers, business addresses, names of people who worked with Tiago, project timelines, everything. But she needed more. She needed proof, real proof that could stand up in court. That night, Helena slept in a shelter for women. It was crowded and loud, but it had Wi-Fi. She borrowed someone's phone and found what she was looking for, a private investigator who worked cheap. His name was Devin Mills. She called him the next morning from a pay phone. Mills Investigations. A tired voice answered. Mr. Mills, my name is Helena Williams. I need your help. I'm expensive. I know, but I'm broke. I can't pay you now, but I will pay you later. Double your normal rate. Devin laughed. Not a mean laugh. A surprise one. Lady, I've heard a lot of pitches. That's a new one. Why should I believe you? Because I'm going to take down Tiago Santos. And when I do, there will be money. Lots of it. Money he stole from me. Money I'll get back. The line went quiet. Then, Santos Development? That Tiago Santos. Yes. What did he do to you? Helena told him everything. It took 15 minutes. Devin didn't interrupt once. When she finished, he said, I'll do it. Not for the money. I hate guys like that. Charmers who steal and smile. I'll find what you need. Helena almost cried with relief. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. This will take time. Weeks. Maybe months. I have time, Helena said. I have nothing but time. Devin was good. Better than good. He was amazing. 2 weeks later, he met Helena at the library with a folder full of papers. You were right, he said quietly. Santos is dirty. Really dirty. He spread the papers across the table. Helena's heart pounded. Look at this. Santos Development has 3 shell companies. Fake companies that only exist on paper. He moves money through them to hide where it really goes. Where does it go? Helena asked. His personal accounts. And look at this. Devin pointed to another document. These are the certificates he used to win the Thompson contract. Certificates saying he's licensed, qualified, experienced. And they're fake. All of them. I contacted the issuing organizations. They have no record of Tiago Santos. He made these on his computer and printed them out. Helena stared at the papers. This was it. This was the proof. There's more, Devin said. I talked to 3 other business owners. Tiago did the same thing to them. Smaller amounts. They didn't report it because they were embarrassed or scared, but they'll testify if you need them. Helena felt something bright and hot in her chest. Not anger. Something better. Hope. Can you get me more? Everything. I need everything. Already on it. But Helena, this is dangerous. Santos has money now. Power. If he finds out you're investigating him. Let him find out, Helena said. Her voice was steel. I'm done hiding. The next step was Marcus Thompson. Marcus was a key. He was respectable. Important. If Helena could show him the truth about Tiago, Marcus would have to act. He couldn't work with a criminal. It would destroy his reputation. But how could she get to Marcus? She was nobody, a homeless woman. Marcus Thompson probably had 10 assistants just to keep people like her away. Then Helena remembered something. Before everything fell apart, she had met Marcus once, at a business conference. They'd talked for 10 minutes about sustainable architecture. He'd seemed interested in her ideas. Did he remember her? Probably not, but it was worth a try. Helena cleaned herself up as best she could. She used the shelter's shower. She borrowed a suit jacket from a donation box. It was too big, but it was clean. She looked in the mirror. She didn't look like an architect, but she didn't look homeless either. Thompson and Associates had offices downtown, a tall glass building that reflected the sky. Helena walked in like she belonged there. Head up, shoulders back, confident. The receptionist looked up. Can I help you? I'm here to see Marcus Thompson. Do you have an appointment? No, but tell him Helena Williams is here. Tell him I have information about Santos Development. Information he needs to see. The receptionist frowned. Mr. Thompson is very busy. Tell him it's about fraud. Criminal fraud. Tell him if he doesn't see me today, he'll wish he had when the FBI comes asking questions. The receptionist's eyes went wide. She picked up the phone. 5 minutes later, Helena was in an elevator going to the top floor. Her hands were shaking. Her heart was racing, but her mind was clear. Marcus Thompson sat behind a huge desk. He was 50-something. Gray hair, sharp suit, tired eyes. Ms. Williams, he said slowly, I remember you. You designed the Riverside Project. Beautiful work. Thank you. I heard you had trouble. I'm sorry about that. The trouble wasn't mine, Mr. Thompson. It was done to me by Tiago Santos. Marcus's expression didn't change, but something flickered in his eyes. Doubt, maybe, or curiosity. That's a serious accusation. I have serious proof. Helena put Devon's folder on the desk. Santos forged documents to win your contract. He's running shell companies to hide stolen money. He's committed fraud at least 4 times that I can prove. And he stole my designs and put his name on them. Why should I believe you? Because you're smart, Helena said. And smart people check their facts. Look at these papers. Really look at them. Then call the organizations that supposedly issued the certificates. Do your homework, Mr. Thompson. You'll see I'm telling the truth. Marcus opened the folder. He read in silence for a long time. His face got harder with each page. Finally, he looked up. If this is true, it is. Then I've been working with a criminal. Yes. Marcus stood up. He walked to the window and stared out at the city. What do you want from me, Ms. Williams? I want you to stop working with him. Cut all ties. And I want you to help me take him down. You have lawyers, resources, connections. I have the truth. Together, we can bury him. Marcus turned around. For the first time, he smiled. It was a cold smile, a dangerous smile. Ms. Williams, I think we could do business. That night, Helena didn't sleep in the shelter. Marcus had offered her a hotel room while they worked together. She said no. She wasn't ready for charity. Not yet, but she did accept dinner. Real food, hot soup and fresh bread. And as she ate, she thought about Olivia, the little girl at the station, the girl who had no mother but still had hope. You have no home and I have no mother. But lonely people should help each other. Helena was building something now, not just a case against Tiago. Something bigger, a bridge between the bottom and the top, between powerless and powerful. And she was going to walk across it. Marcus Thompson moved fast, faster than Helena expected. Within 1 week, he had 3 lawyers reviewing every document. Within 2 weeks, they had enough evidence to fill a room. Bank statements, forged certificates, emails where Tiago talked about moving money quietly, testimonies from the business owners he'd cheated. It's bulletproof, Marcus's lead attorney said. Her name was Susan Chun. She was tiny but fierce. This man is going to prison. But Helena knew something important. Evidence wasn't enough. They needed the right people to see it. We go to the FBI, Helena said. Marcus nodded. I have a contact. Special Agent Rodriguez. He handles financial crimes. 3 days later, Helena sat in a cold FBI office. Agent Rodriguez was tall and serious. He had kind eyes, but a hard voice. Ms. Williams, he said, Mr. Thompson has told me quite a story, but I need to hear it from you. Start from the beginning. So Helena told him everything. Again, every detail, every betrayal, every lie. Agent Rodriguez took notes. He didn't smile. He didn't look shocked. He just listened and wrote. When Helena finished, he said, Do you understand what you're accusing Mr. Santos of? These are serious crimes. Federal crimes. I know. If you're wrong. I'm not wrong, Helena said firmly. And I can prove it. She pushed the folder across the desk. The folder that had grown from Devon's first documents into something massive. Something undeniable. Agent Rodriguez spent 2 hours reading. He made phone calls. He checked things on his computer. Helena waited, her heart pounding in her throat. Finally, he looked up. Ms. Williams, I'm opening an investigation into Tiago Santos and Santos Development. This will take time. Months, probably. But I promise you we will find the truth. Helena felt tears pushing at her eyes. She blinked them back. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. This is just the beginning. But it wasn't just the beginning. It was the middle of the end. The FBI moved like a machine. A slow, careful, unstoppable machine. They froze Tiago's bank accounts. All of them. Every dollar he'd stolen was locked away where he couldn't touch it. They interviewed everyone. The business owners he'd cheated. his employees, his clients, even his friends. And they found more crimes. So many more. Tiago hadn't just stolen from Helena. He'd been stealing from everyone, faking tax documents, bribing inspectors, breaking laws Helena didn't even know existed. He's done. Devin told Helena over coffee one morning. Completely done. The FBI has enough to put him away for 20 years. Helena stirred her coffee slowly. She should feel happy, victorious, but mostly she felt tired. What happens now? She asked. Now, they arrest him, put him on trial. The judge sentences him. And you get your life back. Your life back. Such simple words. But what life? Her company was gone. Her reputation was destroyed. Her friends had abandoned her. She had won the battle. But she didn't know what winning looked like anymore. Then Marcus called. Helena, can you come to my office? Today. Is something wrong? No. Something's very right. Helena arrived at Thompson and Associates an hour later. Marcus met her in the lobby personally. He was smiling. A real smile this time. Not cold. Not dangerous. Happy. Come with me, he said. He led her to a conference room. Inside, 10 people waited. Lawyers, accountants, business people in expensive suits. Everyone, Marcus said, this is Helena Williams, the woman I told you about. One of the lawyers stood up. Ms. Williams, we've reviewed your case extensively. The court has ruled in your favor. All assets stolen by Mr. Santos will be returned to you. That includes approximately $2.3 million. Helena's legs went weak. She grabbed the back of a chair. $2 million, plus damages, plus interest. The total comes to $3.1 million. $3 million. Enough to start over. Enough to rebuild everything. But that's not why we're here, Marcus said. He opened a folder and pushed it across the table. We want to offer you a position. Lead architect at Thompson and Associates. You'll have your own team, your own projects, and full creative control. Helena stared at the contract, at the salary number that seemed impossible, at her name typed at the bottom, waiting for her signature. Why? She whispered. Why would you do this? Because you're brilliant, Marcus said simply. Because you fought for justice when everyone else gave up. Because the world needs more people like you. And because it's the right thing to do. Helena picked up the pen. Her hand shook, but she signed her name. Clear, strong, real. The arrest happened on a Tuesday morning. Helena watched it on the news like everyone else. Tiago Santos being led out of his fancy office in handcuffs. His face was red. He was yelling at the agents, saying it was all a mistake, that he was innocent, but nobody believed him anymore. The evidence was too strong. The truth was too loud. You're watching this a lot, Devin said. He'd stopped by Helena's new apartment with Chinese food. Real Chinese food. The expensive kind. I need to see it, Helena said. I need to know it's real. It's real. He's going away for a long time. Helena nodded slowly. She felt something loosening in her chest. Something tight that had been there for months, maybe years. It's over, she said quietly. Yeah, it's over. But it wasn't over. Not completely. There was one more thing Helena needed to do. 6 months later, Helena stood on a stage in a beautiful hotel ballroom. She wore a blue dress that actually fit. Her hair was done. Her makeup was perfect. She looked like herself again. Better than herself. The announcer spoke into microphone. And this year's Architect of the Year award goes to Helena Williams for her exceptional work on inclusive housing and her dedication to justice and integrity in our industry. The room exploded in applause. Helena walked to the podium. The lights were bright. The crowd was huge. She felt small and enormous at the same time. Thank you, she said. Her voice echoed through the room. This award means everything to me. But I didn't get here alone. She talked about Marcus, about Devin, about Susan and Agent Rodriguez, about every person who believed her when the world didn't. And then she said, but most importantly, I want to thank a little girl named Olivia. I met her on the worst night of my life. She had lost her mother. I had lost everything else. And she taught me that lonely people should help each other, that the world is hard, but people don't have to be. Helena looked out at the crowd, and there, in the third row, she saw her, Olivia, sitting next to her Aunt Claire, wearing a fancy purple dress, her eyes huge and shining. Helena smiled. Olivia, if you're watching, thank you. You saved my life. After the ceremony, Helena found Olivia in the lobby. The little girl ran to her and hugged her tight. You did it, Olivia said. You're not sad anymore. No, sweetheart, I'm not sad anymore. Aunt Claire approached carefully. She looked embarrassed. Ms. Williams, I owe you an apology. That night at the station, I was rude. I was wrong. You were protecting her, Helena said. That's what good aunts do. Claire smiled. It was a real smile, warm and grateful. Olivia looked up at Helena. Do you have a home now? Yes, I have a beautiful home. Good, because you deserve one. Helena knelt down so she was at level with Olivia. You know what? You were right. Lonely people should help each other, and I'm going to keep doing that. I'm building houses for people who need them, people like I used to be. That's amazing, Olivia said. Then her smile faded a little. I still miss my mom. I know, honey, you'll always miss her. But look how brave you are. Look how kind. She would be so proud of you. Olivia hugged Helena again, tighter this time, and Helena realized something. She hadn't just won her case against Tiago. She hadn't just gotten her career back. She had learned what really mattered. Not buildings, not money, not revenge. Connection, hope, standing up when the world knocked you down, helping the next person who was sitting alone on a cold bench. That night, Helena went home to her apartment, her real apartment, with real furniture and real heat and a real bed. She stood by the window and looked out at Chicago. The city lights sparkled like stars. Somewhere out there, Tiago Santos sat in a prison cell. Somewhere out there, other people were struggling, alone, scared, lost. But somewhere out there, people were also fighting, building, hoping. Helena picked up her phone. She called Devin. Hey, she said, I have an idea. What if we started a foundation to help people who've been victims of fraud? We could give them legal help, investigation services, support. Devin laughed. Helena Williams, you never stop, do you? No, she said, smiling. I don't. Not anymore. Because that's what she'd learned. When someone knocks you down, you don't stay down. You get up. You build. You fight. Not with anger. Not with revenge. With patience. With proof. With the kind of quiet, unstoppable strength that turns victims into warriors and pain into purpose. Helena had been an architect of buildings. Now she was an architect of justice, of hope, of second chances. And she was just getting started. If this story inspired you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe to hear more stories of resilience, courage, and triumph. Because everyone deserves to know, when you fall, you can rise. When you lose everything, you can build again. And when the world says you're finished, you can prove them wrong. Share the story. Subscribe for more. And never, ever give up